Good evening. My name is Joseph Marwa, your teacher for mathematics. I love mathematics, so I like teaching it. Now, today we'll be looking at simultaneous equations. And as you know, simultaneous equations are those equations that will be running concurrently. In other words, they are equations that will be running at the same time. So once these two equations are running simultaneously, then you need to look at the values of the variables that are there or that are involved in them. So for today, we'll be looking at equations that have two unknowns. And you know, we can also look at equations that has three unknowns. But for our today's examples, let us try to solve simultaneous equations that has two unknowns. To start us off, before we delve and dive into looking at these two examples that I have here on my board, it is good to notice that for us to be able to solve simultaneous equations, we can use four methods. One, we can be able to work with elimination. Elimination means we try to eliminate one variable and we retain the other one. And then from there, we can be able to get the values of the two variables. We can also work with substitution. And substitution means we substitute one variable and we make it the subject of the other variable. So that way, we'll be able to be left with one variable, we solve it, and then we substitute that value to the rest, and we can be able to calculate the rest of the variable. We can also work with matrices. This is the matrix method. Later on, we shall be looking at matrix topic. So for now, we will not be able to solve it at this point. But at a later time, when we shall be looking at matrices topic, we will come back and try to see how can we be able to solve a simultaneous equation using a matrix method. And the fourth one is the graphical method. Now, graphical means we will be able to plot graphs. And when we plot the graphs, we also going to plot the two equations on our graph using the x and y axis. And where the two equations will intersect, they will form the values of x and y. In other words, the coordinates where the two equations intersect, those coordinates will be the values of x and y. At that point, we shall have gotten the values of our variables x and y. So now let's try to solve this using elimination method. In other words, we're going to try and eliminate one variable and we'll be left with the other variable. Our examples here, we have the first equation, x plus y is equals to 24. Then 2x minus y is equals to negative 6. So we try to eliminate one and then be able to solve the values of x and y. The other equation that we shall be looking at is 3x plus y is equals to 11 and x plus y is equals to 5. So let's see. Let's start with this one. I hope you'll be able to follow up our discussion here. So we have x plus y is equals to 24. And then we have 2x plus, not plus, minus, sorry for that, minus y is equals to negative 6. So we need to ask ourselves, for us to eliminate one variable, we must equate it so that the variable in the first equation is equal to the variable in the second equation. For us, if you look at this one, we have y here, and we also have y here. But now this one is a positive y, this one is a negative y. We need to ask ourselves what we need to do. And at this point here, we just need to plus our equations so that we will have x plus 2x will give us a 3x. Then y plus minus y. Y plus minus y gives us a 0. It's equals to 24 plus minus 6. It's a 24 plus minus 6. This will give us an 18. So it is 18. So 3x is equals to 18. So we can now divide by 3 on both sides and we shall have x is equals to 6. We shall have solved there. So we have the first variable, which is x as 6. Now we can take this variable and we put it in one of the equations here. So we can take x plus y is equals to 24. X plus y is equals to 24. And our x is 6. So in other words, we can say 6 plus y is equals to 24. you know, we can take values that are like terms together. So we can say here we'll be left with y is equals to 24. 6 is a positive. We take it to the other side of the equal sign, it becomes a negative. So it is minus 6. And therefore our y is equals to 24 minus 6 is 18. Here we've gotten the value of x as 6 and y as 18. And you can take those two values and put them back in your one of the equations there and check whether it is correct or it's giving you the correct answer. So for example, you can take 2x minus y is equals to negative 6. Negative 6, sorry. So x is 6. So 2 times 6 is 12 minus y is 18. 18. So 12 minus 18 is negative 6. That tells us that our equation, there are simultaneous equations x plus y is equals to 24 and 2x minus y is equals to negative 6. The values there of x and y are 6 and y is 18. So that's correct. Now let's try to solve the second one so that you can also try your own examples there. So we have 3x plus y is equals to 11. Then x plus y is equals to 5. So again, we try to equate the values and see which one we can be able to eliminate so that we solve the other. So at this point, we can look and see that y and y is equal in the two equations. So what we can do is that we have a positive y and we have a positive y. So we can now minus. So 3x minus x is a 2x. Y minus y is a 0 is equals to 11 minus 5 is a 6. So 2x is equals to 6. Divide by 2, divide by 2, and you'll find that your x is equals to 3. We've been able to get the first value of x, which is 3. And now we can take that and equate it in our equation, any one of our equations. For example, I can take x plus y is equals to 5. And our x is 3. So in other words, 3 plus y is equals to 5. So put the like terms together, transfer them to the other side of the equal sign. So I'll be left with y on this side is equals to 5. 3 was a positive on this side. When I take it on the other side of the equal sign, it becomes a minus. So it's a minus 3. And you find that our y is 2. So what we've got in here is that our value for x is equals to 3 and our value for y is equals to 2. And you can take those two values, equate it in one of the equations that you have here and check whether your equations are correct or your values are correct. So for example, if I take 3x plus y is equals to 11 and our x is 3, so it is 3 times 3 plus our y is 2, which is 2 is equals to, this is 9 plus 2, which will give us 11. And that tells us that our equations are correct. I hope you've been able to learn something and that you can be able now to solve some few simultaneous equations. So for your example, I want to leave you with just one example, then you can go and try and see whether you've gotten the example, the correct answer, you'll be able to get the correct answer from what we've been able to do here. Allow me to rub just a portion here so that I can be able now to write an example that you're going to try at your own time. Now at your own time, go and try 3x minus y is equals to 12 and 2x plus y is equals to 13. 3x minus y is equals to 12 and 2x plus y is equals to 13. Try those ones and now you can also give me comments on my channel there. All my channels are Joseph Marwa, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, wherever you want to find me on social media, look at Joseph Marwa or Joseph Marwa. Thank you very much for listening and for tuning in for today's session. Hope to see you in the next session. Goodbye. God bless.